Vuelta con la capa de poder. Ahora vamos a invitar nuevamente al doctor Ignacio Castiglioni, responsable del Departamento Legal de Gestión Humana y CISO de la Cámara de la Construcción del Uruguay, porque aquellos que no estuvieron en la mañana, bueno, les contamos que hay novedades respecto a la capacitación.
Gracias. Nada, simplemente, en virtud de lo que vos decías, Rafael, como el público se renueva, recordarles que la Cámara de la Construcción y la UTU logramos avanzar en un acuerdo sobre un programa de perfeccionamiento para los técnicos prevencionistas. Para que lo tengan presente, seguramente el correr de estas semanas van a tener novedades y el objetivo es profundizar en una especialización a partir del año que viene sobre la carrera de ustedes y la industria de la construcción. Así que nada, repetir el mensaje para los que no estuvieron en la mañana. Seguimos.
Bueno. Perfecto, muchas gracias, Ignacio. La próxima disertación tiene algunas características especiales y el tema es Visión Cero o Vision Zero, Game Changer in Prevention. En este caso es un video grabado por el Senior Officer in Social Security, Bernd Treichel, de ISSA, ya que hoy es el Día Mundial y bueno, él tenía otros compromisos también en otros congresos, así que no va a poder estar con nosotros presencialmente. Lo vemos en el video y escuchamos su mensaje sobre este tema.
Hello and a very warm welcome today. Thank you for letting me speak at your National Congress. My name is Bernd Treichel. I'm the senior expert in prevention of the International Social Security Association, and I would like to share with you today a couple of thoughts on prevention. So if I can just share my screen. So now you should be able to see it. Yes, on prevention. And what is prevention for the ISSA? It is Vision Zero. We have totally reshaped our program, and instead of talking about prevention culture, talking about various approaches in Social Security, how prevention can be done, we have decided to call it Vision Zero. We've launched it 2017, and we had a huge success with this. We believe that safety, health, and well-being are key pillars of every safety and health system. Prevention without safety, health, and well-being does not work. We need to include these three pillars. We call it Vision Zero because zero means zero accidents, zero harm, zero diseases. And it also means that all these accidents, diseases, and the harm is preventable. It is possible to prevent it. Statistically, of course, it's not possible because there's always a statistical little part that says an accident can happen anytime, and accidents happen. So we acknowledge that. But our vision is to work towards zero accidents. So we call this a process rather than a target. So we are not advocating zero accidents. We are advocating, we believe in zero accidents because by believing in it, we can change our mindset. We transform our way we work, and therefore we will have less accidents. And so the curve is slowly but surely going down. And this is what we call a transformational approach. And this is how we try to promote the culture of prevention. Look at this. We have 2.78 million accidents every year. 380,000 are fatal, 2.4 million a result of occupational diseases. And if we could reduce all these accidents, that would be lovely. Even if just 1 million less would happen, that would be great. And so Vision Zero is trying to contribute to this. The flip side is that if a company invests into prevention measures, then they can have a significant return on investment. We call that a return on prevention. Here the example is in euros, but it works also with pesos. So for every peso invested, you can have a potential return of 2.2 pesos in your company when you just invest wisely and you engage your co-workers, your workers, your employees, and also your suppliers. And then you can improve your safety and health performance already quite drastically in a positive way, of course. This study was done already 10 years ago, from 2013, but it is still relevant today. This slide here shows a little bit the evolution of Vision Zero. It started in 2014 at Frankfurt at the World Congress, and it was the idea that we have one program for everyone, and we had a Vision Zero fund launched by the ILO, and then 2017 the ISSA launched the Vision Zero implementation program, so to say, which is the Vision Zero I'm presenting to you today. Every 3 years there's a World Congress, and every 3 years there's more. So after Singapore, when it was launched, we had one in Canada. This was online, unfortunately, due to COVID. We had actually 2 events, one in 2020 and one in 2021. And now we're going to have another one in Sydney in November 2023 at the next World Congress, where it will again be packed with Vision Zero approaches. And this time it is Vision Zero in agriculture, in construction, in electricity, in mining, in transportation. You name it, we have a lot of Vision Zero. There's also a Vision Zero session on culture of prevention in Vision Zero. And we look into artificial intelligence in Vision Zero, machine safety in Vision Zero. It's all there. And the idea is to bring everyone on board with Vision Zero. And one of the next big things is the Expo 2025, which will be held in Osaka, Japan, where we will have a Vision Zero and well-being stand. And that is strongly supported by the Japanese government. And so you see it is gradually evolving, and we have so many supporters that actually said, yes, I believe in Vision Zero and I believe in this approach, and I'm trying to implement it in my company or in my organization or as an individual, as a trainer. So here you see, we have 11,160 companies. Let's round them up. We have 3,700 partners. We have 1,300 and almost 60 trainers. And these people, they work with Vision Zero day in, day out. And what is it? What do they do? Well, they basically look at this document. This document is available on our website, visionzero.global. You can download it free of charge, also in Spanish. And it's a checklist approach, where we say we have 7 golden rules, and your company can check whether you comply to this idea of these 7 golden rules or not. Fairly simple. What are the 7 golden rules? Rule number 1, lead by example. Whether you are the CEO, whether you are a department manager, or whether you are a worker who has to conduct a specific task, you can always lead by example and show an example that you understand safety, health, and well-being. Then hazard identification, rule number 2, is pretty straightforward. We all know that risk assessment, controlling the risks is very important. Target setting, that's also quite clear for many, but not for all, because small companies sometimes forget to set the target. They forget that they had an accident 3 days ago. And therefore, the target should be, we reduce our accidents as good as we can. You might remember, or you might have already seen in bigger companies, they have these accident counters, 50 days without a fatal accident. 5,000 days without a fatal accident. Then an accident happens, but then it starts again. And every day that no accident has happened is a day where Vision Zero was achieved. Then there's, of course, the whole rule number 4 about being well organized, a safe and healthy system. you know, ISO standards, you know, OSH management standards. This is all this stuff where you look into policies and into implementation and evaluation cycles, looking that everybody does their job. Then technology is important, but machines should protect humans. Humans should not become an object or like a work object for the machines, and they should not run after machines, but machines should be there in service of human beings. Then competence is important. Every worker should understand what it means. Safety, health, and well-being. It should be clearly ingrained in their heads and in their being and in their pores. It should kind of, everybody should be competent enough to also teach about the 7 golden rules. And then last but not least, participation. Without participation, people will just go home and forget everything. So why do I believe that Vision Zero is a game changer in prevention? Is because of the participation, because we say everybody is responsible for their own health and safety. And it's not a top-down approach necessarily, but it is an approach that comes from within. So all the human skills are required, and also the safety and health skills, which are very technical usually, or maybe even legal sometimes, but a lot of it is relational. You know, is teaching the young worker that safety and health is important, teaching the old worker, you know, that he should not have an accident, because if he has one, his healing time will take much, much longer. It is just the way we work as a team and what priorities we set. So priorities should be the 7 golden rules. And here is a slide which shows the strategic components that we have included in Vision Zero. And if these components are met, then you're on a good track. So leadership, commitment, participation. Yeah? That creates basically an integrated approach, and where everything is part of one company, part of one person, because the person should be in the center of prevention. This slide, for those of you who were there last year, you might remember this slide. I show it nonetheless because it is important. I will just not spend that much time on it. The traditional OSH approaches is all based on a top-down approach, or on a regulatory approach, or on a you should do this and you should do that approach. So it's control, it's goal-driven, it's programming, it's management, and ownership is not necessarily for everyone, but just for a few. OSH is often considered as a cost, and therefore, you know, we try to have OSH management systems which would then discharge the employer from the responsibility of OSH, because we have a system, the system is evaluated, everything is fine. All of this is valid and has worked and should remain. However, Vision Zero, the new component of Vision Zero is to bring in a culture of prevention. Leadership is for everyone, is not only for the leader, but if the leader leads by example, it drizzles down. So we look at it as a process rather than a goal. And we look at it as a creative process, an integrated process, you know, a commitment. And we see OSH as a long-term investment to provide good solutions. So this is the change. This is the paradigm change in OSH. How do we do it? As I mentioned, we have this guide. It's available in 15 languages. Here's a selection of 9. And of course, it's available in Spanish. You can download it from our website, visionzero.global. We have also another publication which is very useful and again free of charge. If you want to measure performance between one production site and the other, between one unit and the other unit, you can use the Proactive Leading Indicators Guide. It has indicators for safety, health, and well-being. And as you can see in the spider chart on the right, you can easily identify then the areas of improvement, just to see which of the rules may or may not be taken care of in your company and may require a little bit more work. This Proactive Leading Indicators Guide has 14 fact sheets, 2 for each golden rule. And based on these fact sheets, you can then create your spider graph results. We also have training programs. Here we've teamed up with IOS, the Institution of Occupational Health. They provide accredited Vision Zero training, and many, many trainers work with Vision Zero every day. Our latest products are Vision Zero and the environment, and also the promotion of well-being at work. We have also other guides for small businesses, Vision Zero in mining, agriculture, construction, electricity, and we also have a campaign kit in case you want to launch your own Vision Zero campaign. And then coming soon, Vision Zero in supply chains and Vision Zero in labor inspection. Here, maybe I can just share a little anecdote that in Côte d'Ivoire, the labor inspectors are actually using the Vision Zero guide when they enter companies, and they check how the companies comply with the 7 golden rules, because it's a very, very easy tool to check and to enter into dialogue with people. It is not an enforcement that comes too much from the top. And it's also not loose, because people have to commit to these 7 golden rules. And then there's a follow-up check. So they have found that it works very well for them. On the well-being front, here is a little exercise we did together with Human House, which is a consultancy, and they asked senior leaders, managers, and employers how they feel about well-being at work based on the 7 golden rules. And the green field is mainly the senior leadership who says, yeah, green, in our company, everything is fine. We have enough well-being and everybody's happy. But managers did not see it the same way, and very often employees also did not see it the same way. So it's interesting that everybody has various or differing perceptions in safety and health and well-being. So this here is just the last slide to show you what we've done so far. We have covered safety, health, and well-being. We now have an environmental guide. Of course, the golden rules can also be applied in private life, but this is then everybody's individual responsibility. Vision Zero emerged from road safety. So safe roads is also part of the whole Vision Zero program. And public health is something that we would like to tackle with health insurances, with ministries of health, and to see how we can improve the whole public health sector through Vision Zero. This is something for the next years to come. So I thank you very much for listening, and I wish you still a very good conference. Thank you very much.